Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's the Uncensored match build-up show. Liverpool back in Premier League action this weekend against Burnley. That's presumably how people from Burnley say it. Or if it's like Vizzy, it's Burnley.
Grrr.
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 It's getting worse.
Yeah. Burnley in the Premier League, Chris.
Yeah.
Off the back of, and look, I think it's got to be said too, at the very positive, kind of disappointing result.
Oh, kind of disappointing against Manchester City, was it? It was a kind of disappointing result. Okay, I can roll with the punches. It was shit and it was really disappointing. The results in the Champions League, disappointing as well. But you know what? We get to come up against the team that we owe. We owe them one. I think, Liverpool fans have wanted to see how we're going to perform against teams lower down the table who might play a low block against us. We're going to see that really for the first time with the pace of Salah in this side and stuff. So, look, we've not proved yet that we can comfortably beat these sides. So there is going to be a concern going into this game. Yeah. But then we've not had the opportunities to prove it this season either.
Yeah, well, we made hard work at the game at Anfield last season. We go a goal behind. We could be 2 goals behind before we eventually turn it round. And inevitably, even though it was a turf moor, the away game from last season sticks really bizarrely, freshly in the mind of a Liverpool side without Sadio Mane and how well it can perform in these kind of games. But this is, in some regards, what we were saying after the City thing is, you can lose games against the top teams, and we've been really good against the top teams since Jurgen Klopp's come in. What we've seen, as Chris mentions there, we need to get into the swing of beating the teams that you are supposed to beat. And we've got a phenomenal record against Burnley at Anfield. I think we haven't lost against them at Anfield since 1974. Albeit we've not played them a lot of times.
But how many times have we played them when they're above us in the league, Paul? Because now we're not supposed to beat them. They're one of the top 7. We deal with top 7 teams.
They're going to have to come and play football.
Yeah, exactly. Fan base expect it. No, they don't.
But this is like, it's taken on a weird significance in some regard. We've got a run of games now where against teams that Liverpool should be putting to the sword, and I think we'll get a much clearer indication of where we are as a side in a few weeks' time once we've hopefully got a few more wins under our belt.
Yeah, it's definitely grown in importance because of that defeat against City. Obviously, you want to see a reaction. We did have the Champions League game in between, but you want to see a reaction in terms of the Premier League results. And yeah, it's one of them where I never look forward to playing against these teams because you just don't know what kind of game you're going to get. And I think it might be a bit scrappy. We might have to nick a 1-0, 1-0 or maybe 2-0 late win. But yeah, it's one of them where it'll be interesting to see how we get on, because if we can score first and then keep a clean sheet and show that, we can shut the back door and we can prevent them from scoring goals, I'll absolutely take that. I mean, I'd love to see a really tight 1-0 performance where we're defending for the whole of the second half. To be fair, I think I'd rather see that than a 4-0 win at the moment, just because...
Don't be fucking shit.
I mean, a 4-0 win would be great, but in terms of going forward, it would give me so much confidence.
It would make us feel, particularly given that they might have John Walters in the side.
Yeah.
If we come away with a clean sheet in a game that he plays in, if we manage to shut
he hasn't scored.
If we shut the Tory down, then I think we've had a good performance there. Ross, do you think it's harder for us to make major changes for this game because of the fact that we have, it has been 2 poor results in the last 2 games? And by that I mean, you can drop points in isolation here and there, but for Liverpool to drop more points at the weekend, which is a possibility if you start making sweeping changes to the side, people start to ask a few more questions than maybe would be ordinarily necessary. Do you think it's more the case now where you think the Carabao Cup is where you make your major changes, you try to the best of your ability to put all the best players you've got out on the pitch?
Yeah, as I mentioned in the final word, his hand is forced and Mane can't play. You have to change the goalkeeper because that's what he said he's going to do. But apart from that, I think you've got to try and stick with the same sort of people. One thing I didn't mention on the last show is the front 3 have kind of clicked and they've all got used to playing with each other. What I want to see is the back 4 be consistent in what we've got. I even said this in pre-season, just to try and get some communication and and know where people are at, just to get some rhythm and organisation together. Even if it is against Burnley, just play them again.
That's the thing that gets me about the rotation of the goalkeepers. I think Klopp was fully justified, and what he was talking about prior to the Champions League game, Christian, he said, look, you know, we're doing this situation because we don't want to have to buy a 33-year-old goalkeeper every season to be the backup, and I think that's admirable. But, you know, I look at the teams that I do this, and I look at, let's say, Man United as an example of last season. You know, you've got a very well-drilled defence there under Jose Mourinho. Making changes to it, I think, makes less of an issue because that's very much a focus of that side. Ross raises an interesting point there, that are we ready to be making significant changes to our defence every other game?
I don't believe Jurgen Klopp for a second when he says that he is going to make these changes throughout the season. I think that if Karius gets to a position where he's comfortable in nets, it makes sense for the team that Karius becomes the #1 goalkeeper. And right now, it's the only measure, it's the only way that he can get this in, by saying this and making sure that Mignolet's okay and keeping him pumped up and stuff. Because, you know, whatever you think of Karius and whatever you think of our defence, the way our team plays and with such a high line, we need a sweeper keeper. And we are shooting ourselves in the foot every single time. And no matter how well Simon Mignolet plays, and he can have the best Simon Mignolet performances, he's not going to be that sweeper keeper, and we're going to concede goals because of it. So ultimately, if Karius gets a bit of confidence up and fans start to actually accept him as a goalkeeper, I see that Karius takes over the #1 jersey properly this season.
That's an interesting thing.
I agree wholeheartedly with that. I've said that Karius for me is clearly the long-term option for Klopp, and I think it's just about finding the right time to sort of sneak him in without bringing too much attention on him. I agree with you. I think it's part of a plan, you know, to bring him in.
It's very, very interesting stuff.
Do you think Mignolet would rather do? Because, you know, we spoke about this last night. Of, you know, he's played all last season to get the Champions League, and now he's not in it. You know what I mean? Do you not think he'd rather be doing that and then be second choice?
Well, do you want to play 6 games a season, or do you want to play 38 games a season? I think he's probably working on the opposite logic to that. He's probably thinking, I am the first choice goalkeeper because I'm playing the most games. If Karius starts making errors, all that's going to happen is I'm going to start playing the Champions League games as well. I think, and to be honest, I think you're probably looking based on last season. That's probably the more likely scenario, unfortunately. Karius has got a lot of work to do, but you know, encouraging signs definitely from the Sevilla game. I think, as you said there, Chris, I think we saw the good things that he do and the good things that he can bring to the team. We're gonna do what we feel the 11 should be in a moment, but
I'm gonna change mine.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, I feel like I need to change mine.
Listen, okay, you do it. Me and Ross will talk amongst ourselves. Phil Coutinho.
Yeah.
I think in bringing him on in the Champions League game in midweek, we kind of took the sting out of the whole bringing him back in kind of thing. He got a really good reception from the Kop, the fans. Didn't wholeheartedly sing his name, but he did get his song sung a little bit from a section of the fans and what have you. No Mane. Logically, he comes straight back in for this game. Do you think it's as simple as that?
Yeah, I think.
Well, there we go. Thanks very much.
It's my input. Going back to the thing of bringing him on, the whole thing with the Coutinho saga is just the sooner he gets in the team, the sooner he starts playing, the sooner we can put that whole thing behind us and people can stop talking about it, because it's been and done now. As much as it was a bit of a cunty thing to do and people are pissed off with him, but it was the day before the transfer the season started to put in a request. I understand people are pissed off.
Which one's your team?
I don't know.
It's weird.
You picked 2 teams.
Yeah, you picked 2 teams.
Well, now I had to make changes and I didn't want to get my finger covered in ink, which happened anyway. And
it's not like permanent marker.
I know. It's fine, it'll rub off. I wasn't going to draw attention to it, but you have now, so there are.
Go on, you're going to change as well?
I have changed.
Okay, we'll come on to these teams in a moment. I think the only major thing on Coutinho, Chris, is just he looked miles off the pace when he came on, and now that's a tough situation to come into in that game, particularly with all the things around him as well. But his touch looked off. He looked like a guy who'd not played footy.
Yeah, just come off a back injury, Paul.
Come off a major back injury.
He's been injured for ages.
Yeah, exactly. So
surgery.
Yeah,
2 long haul flights.
Yeah, a couple of long haul flights. Just cramp. Yeah, you know, he'd look like a guy who'd not been playing with that team so far this season. Now, here's the thing: the best way to get him over that is to get him playing footy, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, of course it is. And I think, look, it wasn't for a want of trying, and, you know, I heard shouts aimed at him that it was a want of trying, but I disagree with that completely. I think it was just, his touch was off, he wasn't up to the pace of the game. He'd obviously, I sometimes think, even if your touch is a little bit off, sometimes starting the game just makes it a little bit easier for you. Coming into a game, and then sort of everyone's,
to be on it,
exactly, you know, everyone's hopes and dreams are almost pinned on you coming on and stuff like that. It's a difficult situation to come into. The Burnley game, I think, is perfect for Phil Coutinho in that we're going to have a lot of the ball. He's going to get opportunities to start threading passes and stuff like that. So I think it's a really good game for Phil Coutinho to come back into. I'd rather that than see him in the game against Leicester in the League Cup, because otherwise we're not seeing him until Leicester in the league.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so I'm interested to know where people feel he should be playing in the team. We're going to get the guys' thoughts and suggestions on this in a moment. But before we do, we mentioned it last week. We're going to mention it again, and we've got several weeks to continue to mention it. We've been nominated for a North West Football Award. Fairly prestigious, actually, in the North West. You know, Liverpool players, Everton players get nominated for these every year. Sadio Mane's up for one. Trent Alexander-Arnold's up for one as well. And they've created a new category, which is the best fan TV. So we're up for nomination alongside Toffee TV, Full-Time Devils, and Blue Moon doesn't exist anymore. So you can vote. There'll be a link in the video info underneath. If you click through, it takes a few seconds to vote. Emma did it.
I did it, yeah. I voted for Liverpool players as well.
Yeah.
There's a couple of the ladies players in there as well. So.
And you voted for
us. Yeah, I voted for you guys first.
Absolutely, that's the most important.
I even gave you a shout out on Twitter.
You did?
Yeah.
See, so if you want
to vote for social game.
Yep.
Top quality social wear. So if you want to vote, please do. And if you want to give us a shout out as well on Twitter, by all means do as well. Dead easy. Tweet a screen grab or whatever if you complete a thing. Say you've done it, and we'll give you a little bit of love on Twitter, or Ross will. Some Ross love.
No one wants that.
Absolutely as filthy as it sounds.
Oh, it's so awkward.
I really didn't know you were going to answer that.
Fantastic. So yeah, we want to win enough. We want to stick it right up the chuff of Full-Time Devils and Toffee TV. So make that a thing by voting for us. That'd be great. Right. Okay. Charles. Right. Here's the 11s that we think. Now, bear in mind, Chris is doing his starting 11 prediction, which is not what he wants the team to be. It's what he thinks Jürgen will pick the team as. So you'll be able to watch that on the channel. But this is
wrong again here.
How
many times have I got to do this? What am I doing?
Right, okay, so let's see. Stop making changes.
I'm just making a note to retweet a vote.
Get a team up.
Which one, Paul?
I don't know which one.
I'm really
it's got Manny in it, it's not the right team. Right, so Ross has got Mignolet, Trent, Matip, Lovren, Moreno, Hendo, Gini, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Salah, Sturridge, Coutinho. Emma's got Mignolet, Trent, Matip, Lovren, Robertson, Hendo, Chan, Coutinho midfield, Salah, Firmino, Oxlade-Chamberlain on the wing. Pajak has gone for Coutinho on the left-hand side, Oxlade-Chamberlain in the midfield, Robertson coming in at left-back alongside Clavan. Ooh, and I can't even remember what I did. I went for Ox on the wing and Coutinho midfield. I think this is the big point of debate, isn't it, Emma? Is whether if Coutinho comes back into this team, does he go back to where he was last season, playing from the left-hand side, which would make sense. You just take Mane out and you plug him back in there, or with the option of having Oxlade-Chamberlain there, do you go with the Coutinho that we saw in pre-season, which was very much a midfield-based Coutinho?
Yeah, for me, I'd put him back in his strongest position, and in my opinion, his strongest position is in midfield. So, yeah, like you were saying, he looked a bit off pace against Sevilla, so I'd want to put him where I think he's most comfortable and where I think he's going to make, the best impression. And yeah, I think with him in the side, it does improve. So I'd you play your best players in their best position, and for me, that's his.
That's it. I think the Oxlade-Chamberlain thing, Chris, he's not. He wants to play in midfield. By all accounts, we've kind of promised that, and I think his future does lie in midfield. But I think at the minute, I think his pace on the wing could be a really useful asset. Now I know you've put him in midfield.
I put him in midfield and Coutinho on the left. But no, I can understand both. To be honest, I can see the arguments from both sides of it. For me, you lose the pace of Sadio Mane, you replace him with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I get that. I totally get that. but I just don't see that these are a side that we're going to be running in behind, and as such I'd prefer to see the creativity of Coutinho from the left-hand side. I think for me, and it's just a personal opinion, because he was a little bit off the ball, I'd rather him be out on the wing, so he's maybe got that little bit more time and space so that he can get his touch and pick his pass, rather than being central, where we know Burnley are going to play with a bank of 4 and then 2 defensive midfielders who are going to be right on top of Phil Coutinho regardless. Don't be surprised, whatever they do, whether you might see Coutinho and Ox just switching and stuff like that, and so, and that's maybe just to draw Burnley players out of positions. But yeah, listen, it's great options to have, because I think either of them are really good options.
Yeah, I think maybe the thing that would switch it again is what we've seen in pre-season a little bit, Ross, but also Oxlade-Chamberlain just hasn't played enough with the team, and I think if you're going to drop a lad in, he's played on the wing a lot in his career. It's probably an easier fit just to chuck him in and say, go on and run the channels a bit, mate. Yeah,
it was a 50-50 like everyone else. Is, because he can play in either end, and so can Coutinho. He gives you more options. I just went with him in midfield because that's where he wants to be. Try and keep him happy a little bit, and Coutinho is a threat.
You went with Moreno at left back.
Yeah.
Just because of the form he's been in?
Yeah, personally I wouldn't. I'd like to see Milner or even Robertson just pair of fresh legs.
Well, that's what this is.
Yeah, I know. But that was under 50-50 as well. But I think he'll play because of the form he's in. He's in a good run of form. I thought he was brilliant last night.
No, he was.
And then we had an argument before of keeping that back for
the same. I guess I think on the Robertson stuff, if he's fit and available to play, he was on the bench, wasn't he? Against Sevilla, is that he's got to start getting a bit of game time, hasn't he? I guess. So we saw him come in for the Crystal Palace game at home. This kind of feels a similar sort of fit to start getting him involved.
I mean, he came on for his debut, and obviously he had a great game, and I like him. I think he's a good little player, and we need to rotate against Burnley. I did make changes because I realised I changed 3 of my back 4, and I did agree to what Ross said about trying not to change it. That's why I did originally have Clavin and Matip, and I thought we'll stick Lovren in there just because I didn't want to make too many changes, because I brought in Trent for Gomez at right back. But I think it is the perfect opportunity to bring Robertson in, because I think he's a better player than just coming in for cup games. I think he does need Premier League experience. So
there's a very realistic chance though, Chris, that it will literally just be. I mean, obviously the keeper will change naturally, but I think the only real change will just be Coutinho coming in for Mane by and large.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to do my starting 11, and it's not the same team that I've picked there, because I do think that there will be a couple of changes, but that's probably about it. For me, I do question the fact that I think you do need to change somebody in the middle of that park. Whether it be Chan or Gini that drops out, one of those players needs to drop out for me, because I think Gini's played every game this season so far, maybe, and now might be a good time to get him a little bit of bank of rest.
Oh no, mate.
And now he's great at home, like.
He can't play next week at all because he's going to be terrible.
There's 4 away games on the run. Actually, it's a great point.
Well, exactly. Just take Gini out for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some interesting stuff, and again, this is the beauty of the squad we've got at the moment. We've got some good potential options there, and it means we've also got, because the League Cup game, it'd be interesting to see how serious we take that. Last season we took it, seriously. We put some good teams out at times, particularly that first round. I think we won because it was after Burnley, wasn't it? We lost to Burnley, we put a good team out against. Was it Burton? I think was the first game of that
5-0.
to get the result with Mane.
There is an interesting one that I don't think any of us put out, and that is Sturridge to start.
I was just about to say that.
Did you do Sturridge to start?
Sorry, I think that's a really good shout then, because I think I'd like to see Solanke come in for the League Cup game against Leicester. And Sturridge is going to need to be fit, so Sturridge is going to have to come in for games at some point. And I was toying around with the idea of a 4-2-3-1, and maybe dropping Firmino into that 10 like we saw at the end of the game, and maybe Sturridge at the top of the field there. But
I was sort of I wasn't sure about the front line. I wiped it out about 4 times because I think at the moment I've said Firmino, and I'll probably in about half an hour say that I'll start with Sturridge. Because I would like to see him, whether or not he starts, but I think he definitely needs to come on and play a good sort of 40 minutes.
These are the type of games where he can get something, he create half a yard, get a shot off, and I expect that's what it's going to be like. Was it 40 shots we created at Turf Moor or something like that, you know what I mean? And
he likes to play a bit deeper, doesn't he? So like you say, Burnley are going to have you know, players back defending, and he is the type of forward who will drop quite deep and come and collect the ball and look to get on it and make things happen. And he won't be afraid to take shots from outside the box. And
it's exciting. It's back at Anfield again. You bank on us whether they defend or not to cause this team problems one way or the other. So yeah, we'll get score predictions in a sec. I just want to remind everyone we are the official sponsors, the official shirt sponsors of AFC Liverpool for this season. We've got the home kit and the away kit, which is red and yellow, which is classic Liverpool. We'll put some images up on the screen for you, of course, to have a look at that. You can buy that shirt right now through the Redmen TV merch site or through AFC Liverpool. The Redmen TV merch site is theredmentvshop.bigcartel.com.
You got it.
Yes.
Yay.
The link will be in the video info underneath, and you should be able to click an annotation as well at the end of the video. If you want to get over there and get an amazing looking football shirt with our sponsor and support a grassroots football team in the local area as well. So that'd be amazing. But yeah, score prediction time. Chris, what are you going for?
8-0 Liverpool.
Every game until we do it. Okay, Emma?
I'll
Forget of 8-0.
go 2-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet.
Okay, Ross?
3-1 because it won't be a clean sheet.
I like the 3-1 shot.
Can I give a proper one?
No, you've done 8-0. We had this chat last night, didn't we, about how
I think we're gonna score 8 in a game this season. I just think it's going to be...
concede
Yeah,
7.
but we'll
No, I'm going to put
definitely
8-0 on.
concede
I think I'm going to put 8-0 on at the bookies every game.
against who?
Every game.
No, but who do you realistically think we're going to win 8-0
Every
against?
game.
Burnley. No, I don't know. I just think there's going to be a time when it all clicks, and those 23 shots we convert a lot of them in a game. Like West Ham would be nice. Everton would be lovely. Manchester United.
That would be amazing.
I think it's going to be 1-0 on Saturday.
To be fair, I was talking to a lad from uni. He's a Burnley fan, and he was talking about the Palace game. He said they completely played them off the park. He said they absolutely got battered. And he
Palace
said, Burnley got battered.
Yeah.
And he's like, I fucking don't know how we fucking came away with 3 points in that game. So maybe there's a weakness there.
But equally, they went
They
away
did
to
to us, didn't
Wembley
they?
and got a draw with Spurs, so you just don't...
You just don't know, don't you? Yeah.
How can you know? That's the beauty of football, is watching, waiting and finding out, and then being thoroughly depressed one way or the other. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. If you want to subscribe to the Redmen TV YouTube channel, you can. Click the icon on the screen right there. Watch more content by clicking the video thing there. And if you want more in-depth analysis and extra content, 3 and more, in fact, video shows every week, a shit ton of podcasts as well. If you're into that stuff, go to the redmentv.com, sign up, start your free month by clicking one of the buttons on the screen there as well. It should tell you which one. Do it. Go on, Si.
You can put the AFC shirt and the link to the website up.
Well, go to the redmentv.com/join and be better people. Happy with that?
Yeah, and I was just thinking, I'll talk to you off air about something. Let's just end the show.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we'll see you soon. Ta-ra.